If you desire to make 2025 your best year yet, I want to share 10 proven methods that have allowed me to go from the bottom 1% to the top 1% and become a multimillionaire and create my dream life. And I believe it can do the same for you. First, do not spend time with the wrong people. Whether you believe it or not, the people you spend time with have a direct impact on your way of being. As the famous quote goes from Jim Rohn, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Remember, rich people associate with positive, successful people. Poor people associate with negative or unsuccessful people. When I reflect on the moment that I feel like I arrived in life, it wasn't when I achieved a certain income or net worth. It was when I had total control over the people I associated with. I saw my life significantly improve when I was finally able to set the rules for who was allowed to have a relationship with me. Now I choose to only associate with people who align with my values. Now, when you spend time with the wrong people, the right people will avoid you. Your vibe attracts your tribe. It's true that your net worth is in direct proportion to your net work. Let me ask you, if you had complete control over who you associated with, what changes would you make? Who would you spend more time with and who would you spend less time with? What if you could choose to only be with the people who helped you be your best self? Make it a goal in 2025 to upgrade the people you spend time with. One way to make this process easier is to uproot and move to another city or state. Now, this gives you a chance to start over and make new friends. I move my family every 3 to 5 years, and it has been one of the greatest strategies to force myself out of my comfort zone. With each move, I've experienced tremendous personal and business growth. Number 2, read books every single day. Not any book, but read about business, real estate, investing, success, and mindset. Every single day without exception. Wealthy and successful people constantly learn and grow. Feeding your mind every day from the greatest minds in the world is how you reprogram your own mind to think and act like wealthy and successful people. If you read at least 1 hour per day in your chosen field, that 1 hour will translate into approximately 1 book a week. 1 book a week will translate into approximately 50 books in a year. Business expert Brian Tracy said if you read an hour a day, 1 book per week, you will be an expert in your field within 3 years. Never forget, all leaders are readers. Number 3 is to get paid on results, not time. The fastest way to drastically increase your earning power is to get paid based on the results instead of the time. Now, this can be in the form of commission or production. I first learned this principle when I was a teenager. I got a job working for a company that subcontracted work from Comcast, the big cable TV company in Metro Detroit where I lived. When the Comcast technician hooked up the cable line for a new service at a home, he would lay a coax cable line in the yard. Now, my job was to come behind and bury the cable line about 6 inches under the grass. Now, it was backbreaking work, and at the time, the average installer getting paid $10 an hour would complete about 4 to 5 a day. When I was hired, unwittingly, I asked my boss if I could get paid on production. Now, as the subcontractor, he got paid by Comcast $50 per address to bury the cable. So he decided to try it out and agreed to pay me $20 per service install. Guess what happened? I think you know. Since I was on production, I would install 20 to 25 in a single day compared to the hourly employees only installing 4 to 5. That means as a 16-year-old on a Saturday, I would make $400 on production compared to $100 hourly, and my boss would make $600. That was 30 years ago, so today that would be equivalent to about $1,000. That was a powerful experience that taught me to get paid for the results, not my time. Now today in real estate, that is why I love a wholesale or a flipping business. I get paid based on the deal. I recently wholesaled a $900,000 house and made a $100,000 profit for a total of 2 to 3 hours of my time. I have a finder program in my flipping business where I'll give you $10,000 for every deal that you bring me that meets my criteria. Now, if you want to learn more about that program, just go to My 10K Check to register for a free training. I once offered my project manager on a new construction house I was building a $10,000 bonus on top of his regular pay if he completed the project on time, within budget, and without compromising quality. He was so amped up that he worked his butt off to earn that bonus. Find a way to always get paid for results, and not your time. Number 4, have a specific written income and net worth goal and then an action plan to get there. Review your progress every month. Now, I call this playing offense. Wealth doesn't just happen. It will not grow unless you focus on it every day. Money goes where energy flows. Now, I was talking about building wealth with my kids recently, and my oldest son's wife said to me, "I just don't want to have to think about money." My response to her was, "Then you won't have any." What you focus on expands. Make it a daily habit to focus on earning money and building wealth. You see, poor people just worry about paying bills. All they talk about is paying their bills, paying their bills. When I'm with my buddies, we talk about abundance. We talk about money-making ideas, how we're building our businesses, how to provide more value to the marketplace, and our plans for building wealth. Make building wealth something you think about and talk about and work on every single day. Number 5 is to live below your means. I call this playing defense. Only live off 70% of what you take home. I believe in having 6 months cash reserve for peace of mind, then invest the rest. Look, I'm all about increasing your standard of living, but not at the expense of increasing your net worth. As your revenue increases, be slow to increase your standard of living. Make sure that as you exponentially increase your revenue, you incrementally increase your standard of living. One time I met with my banker and he said that my wife and I were a very rare exception. He said, I excelled at bringing money in the front door, offense, and my wife excelled at keeping it from going right out the back door, defense. I tell my kids, never finance your future with stuff. Other than a few exceptions like buying a house, if you can't pay cash for it, don't buy it. Number 6 is to choose the right mentors and the right people that you get advice from. Only take instruction from people who have already achieved what you want to achieve. Most people take advice from their friends and family who are just as broke as they are. Now, I have a rule I live by to only take advice from people who are richer and more successful than I am. A few weeks ago, I had an important business decision to make, and I was getting various opinions about what to do from people I respected, but it just wasn't sitting well with me. So I called my good friend and mentor, Pace Morby. Now, I knew he had a deep understanding and personal experience with what I was facing more than anyone else I knew. Pace is a really busy guy, and when I called him, he stepped out of a company meeting and he spent an hour with me on the phone. His advice was invaluable. The right mentor will not only give you valuable advice, but will hold you accountable, help you avoid unnecessary potholes, and mostly help you get out of your own way. Your mentors must have personal experience. This is a top issue holding back most new entrepreneurs today. When it comes to real estate, if you want to learn to build a sustainable 6-figure and even 7-figure income flipping houses, be sure to check out my community and mentor program. Just go to fasttrackwithjerry.com to apply and see if you're a good fit. Okay, number 7 is to spend more time doing than you do learning. Wealth comes from doing, not learning. The formula for success is undeniable. Proven instruction plus consistent imperfect action equals results. Learning is often a form of procrastination or what is often called creative avoidance. You lie to yourself saying you need to learn more before you're ready to start. What you have to understand is we're never really ready. We go when we're ready enough. I tell my real estate students who think they need to learn more before taking action, you know enough, pick up the phone, talk to a seller or an agent, and make an offer on a distressed property. You'll learn more about real estate doing that than any book or YouTube video will ever teach you. A real education comes from doing the thing, not reading a book or listening to a podcast about doing the thing. Remind yourself, you don't really know something unless you are doing it. I have a saying I live and die by in real estate. The more offers I make, the more deals I'll do, and the more money I'll earn. Write that down and read it until it becomes ingrained in your way of being. The reality is you learn best during the process of earning money. Books, podcasts, and YouTube is only beneficial if it helps you improve the action you're already taking. Otherwise, it's just creative avoidance. Number 8 is to limit your exposure to social media. For most people, social media is nothing more than a distraction from facing your life. As an entrepreneur, be a hypocrite when it comes to social media. Create content, but don't consume content. To discipline myself not to overconsume, I put a 5-minute time limit on Facebook and Instagram to remind me to do something else more productive. Do an inventory of how many countless hours you spend each week and month on social media. Imagine if that time was spent doing the things I'm outlining in this video. I guarantee you would speed up your path to wealth. Limit your consumption time on social media drastically starting right now. Number 9 is to tithe 10% of every dollar you earn to God. Now, I was taught this principle early in life, and I have a deep personal conviction that I am blessed tremendously for doing so. I believe that 100% of what I have is God's anyways, so giving Him back 10% is a small and easy sacrifice to make. Tithing is one of the only places I know of in the Bible where it says to put God to the test. Check out Malachi chapter 3, verse 8. Now, I have made it a habit to pay tithing. It's not even something that I consider, or it's even a hard decision. Pay God first, and He'll magnify your finances. Tithing is one of the best ways to demonstrate to God your appreciation for the blessings in your life. And number 10 is to not work on Sundays, no matter what. No matter how much you love what you do, take Sundays off completely. You need a day off. You do not earn a day off, you just get one. Now, I'm fascinated with the fast food company Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A is closed on Sundays, a tradition started by founder Truett Cathy in 1946. And he did it to allow employees to rest and spend time with their family and to worship. Now, I've often wondered how much revenue Chick-fil-A loses by not being open on Sunday. The chain's average standalone restaurant sales are $9.3 million, which is more than double the sales of McDonald's U.S. locations. Coincidence? Maybe, but I don't think so. Even if you're not Christian, take Sundays off and use that time to rest your mind and soul, to connect with your family and loved ones. I promise you'll accomplish more in 6 days than if you work Sundays. And finally, be kind to yourself. No one has everything totally figured out, so don't beat yourself up. The point of life is to learn and grow. It's all about the journey, not the destination. Now, to help you achieve your dream life, be sure to get my free goal-setting workbook. Now, this workbook helps you create a vision for your life and the steps to make that vision a reality. The way it works is you write down 50 things that you want to have, be, do, and give in your life. The idea is to come up with ideas without judgment, no matter how outlandish they may sound. Now, not just financial goals, but all areas of your life, including relationships, spirituality, and your health and fitness. After coming up with 50 ideas, next you narrow it down to the top 3 things that you want to accomplish in the next 5 years, 3 years, and 1 year, and then write out an action plan to accomplish each goal with a specific time frame. Now, it's a very powerful exercise, and like I said, I'll give you my goals workbook for free. Just go to freegoalsworkbook.com. Now, I hope 2025 is your best year yet, and I'm humbled and grateful to have a small part in that process, and I'll see you on the next video.